the audacity with which the governor says we need an airport. Ordinarily, if you don't or no one knows, you will think he meant it, and maybe he meant it. I don't know, but let's go ahead.
We need an airport because if you want to create a commercial hub, access is key. Access is key. 1, 2. Without deriding anybody, I've not seen one airport in Nigeria that can speak to what an airport should be in the 21st century.
Nekwenumanya, a man who does not have bicycle, is talking about the people who have only pedals. Or a man who doesn't have leg is talking about the people with one leg cannot cycle properly. You're saying you don't want to deride anybody, but you haven't seen any airport in Nigeria. God, do you have motor park?
An airport is not a park.
Thank God you know.
It's not a place. It's not a place you run to, board a flight and go away. I have enormous respect for the former governor of Lagos State.
He's talking of Ambode, and like I said before, I agree with him here. Ambode was ambitious, but sadly, those godfathers, godmothers, godpickings, and godagborus didn't allow him to do anything tangible for his state.
What he wanted to do around Osho scared me.
So you can even be scared, okay? What Ambode wanted to do around Osho scared you. The question is, what did you do around Abba?
As a governor, scared me. I saw in him somebody who was thinking like me.
People of Abia, please pardon me if I'm laughing. He said he saw in Ambode a man who is thinking like him. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry. Oga Governor, I'm sorry. Don't send DSS to come and jump my fence, but that statement was really funny and it cracked me up.
You can't.
And look at it. You hear those people, those are what we call sycophants, idiots. They were at behind the scene. They were clapping for him for saying absolutely nothing.
Chop people in a place, and 5, 6, 7 million people pass through it every day. That's a resource.
I am happy that he knows the amount of people that pass through Shoshodi, and that is a resource. But sadly, it appears he does not know the amount of people that come to Aba to buy and sell in order not to make that city conducive for them.
So why don't you aggregate them, put AC, make them put AC around the corridors, then display things for them to buy? Because as they move about, if you have your little toddler or your 3-year-old, and somebody is come and buy ice cream, and you see Father Christmas selling ice cream or something.
This will crack me up. I never knew that for the Christmas leaves Christmas stuff and start selling ice cream. Sorry, please. Pardon me, I have to laugh because this one, after watching this one, I'm doing like this. I'm doing like...
It's doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking, blinking, shaking.
Honestly, I'm blinking, I'm shaking because I'm thinking, so Father Christmas has joined the ice cream vendors. Lai Mohammed must hear this one. Wallahi, Lai Mohammed must hear this.
That child, you must buy that ice cream. But you must create the ambience to enable the person take the walk in that place with his child. But if it is rowdy and pickpockets are harassing and people are taking things, my ideal airport is the airport in Dubai. If you go to Dubai airport with $200,000, you will finish all the money there. You won't go home. And people come to Dubai just to hold meetings and go away. So I was looking at a small, compact airport that will have a hotel. Not an airport that will close after 9 p.m. An airport you can, oh yeah, I'm traveling to Lagos 7 a.m. Let me go to the airport. I'll dance in the nightclub eat my dinner there. In the morning, I board my flight. All you want to do is to create many stations that money will change hands. That's how to grow GDP. So, but if you go to the airport I use in my state, if you go there now, you will not see anybody. You will not see anything. Unless it is an owl or something, wild animal, you won't see anything.
Imo State just knocked you one blow 7 hours because the airport you just described is the Imo State airport, the Sam Bakwe airport. And, that was when Okorocha handed over after spending billions to upgrade and renovate and undergrade and degrade the airport. But here we are. The Abia State governor is telling you that not Imo State airport is actually fit for purpose. Yet, Oga, 7 years has gone past. You could not even clear the ground, talk less of doing anything. Anyway, continue.
And yet, calculate the number of persons that come there, that pass through there. All of them passing through the airport has money. And they want to spend the money, but there is nothing. So I wanted to create an economic hub, a place you can have.
This is where even Odumeje in Onitsha appears to be better. How can a man who, as of the time he's making this statement, he has been in government for 6 years plus, and he's still talking in future tense? I wanted to create. Oga, after 6 years, you're still wanting to create. Is there anything different between you and Oga Baba Buhari? But anyway, I think I can now understand. That is where I understand Odumeje very well. Because this your statement is called future participle. In fact, maybe call it past participle. Maybe.
You will be a past participle. Yeah. Hey! Ebu agomia. One day we go here. Say yesterday you are a past. So very soon you shall be past. Party. One day. Say tickle.
Ndabia and done. Yesterday, Abia State was a past. Today, Abia State is a party. And now that we are talking, Abia State is in the takeover. Abia. Man, let me not say what I'm thinking. But let's continue.
Your bed and breakfast. A place you can have a nightclub. A place you can have a conference. Set up rooms like this in an airport. So that, I'm traveling, my flight is by 6. But I'll arrive at the airport by 3. Let us hold the meetings. The tea you drink there, the coffee, the everything, the food. All of those things are happening in that airport. And you create jobs. And people coming who want to go again, even on account of the airport. So, it is still a priority for me. But my people feel that I needed to do other things. And then because I'm a teacher, I'm also a good listener. I decided to return the airport as a priority, but go back to the drawing board and start planning again while I do what they want to see. And that is what has just happened. So it's my priority, and I'll get back to it. I'll give you that airport.
Make I laugh. Abia, he will give you that airport. Yet, this is the same man that told you guys a couple of weeks ago. Flyover. Itugamoto. Because the people asked this same man, why hasn't he finished doing Osisioma flyover? And he said, many of you that are complaining and asking about flyover, do you have a car to even cross the flyover? Now, I don't know how many people who have plane in Abia State to be landing in Abia. And it's still a priority, but I can warn you, one thing here that I do personally here, and especially in the southeast, is I ring the bell, I ring the alarm before it starts happening. I can tell you, whatever he's talking about the airport, yes, look at me. It is nothing but 419. It is nothing but fraud. How do I know? Go back to history, antecedent. Orji came. Orji was elected in 2009, in 2007. He governed 2007, 8, 9, 10. In 2011, Orji went for a second term. He won second term 2011, 2012, 2013. 2013. On the 7th year, just like this man was on his own 7th year, suddenly, Orji, the one that handed him over the governorship, did what? He started talking about building airports. I think if many of you forget, I don't. You know why? Because I am so passionate about projects. Not because I'm a project manager, but I am so passionate about projects. And I follow projects. I go to site. And now, get your coffee. Get whatever you're drinking. Anything drinkable. This is mine. Let me have a sip first. So, it's going to get interesting now. Because I want to get into Abia. I want to explain to Nigerians and in Abia what has been happening and why I think this nonsense, but it's nonsensical talk. This nonsensical talk about airport is nothing but the distraction and the fluke. Because let us go back and let us do the following. Okay? So at least you can hear me. Now let me quickly do this so that you can. I want us to read with me. So you can read with me, people. So read with me here. This is Premium Times. This is Premium Times. I want you to pay attention the month and the year this article was published. This is Premium Times. You see here, published 25th of November 2013. Right? 2013. That was when it was published. Now, listen to what is now said here. All preliminary arrangements have been finalized. That is the first sentence. The Abia State Commissioner for Transport, Ikechukwu Emesobum, said on Monday that an airport will be constructed in the state before May 29, 2015. That is Abia State in 2023 that they say this thing to us, and many of you will go clapping for them. When we call them that these comments and these things are fraud, some of you will take offense. Now, it goes on to say here, Mr. Emesobum said no more that all formalities, pay attention to that all formalities for the acquisition of land and preliminary arrangement to get the site ready had been completed. He added that the location will soon be announced to the public. Then he continued, yada. Part of their justification and part of their, argument is, he said that Abia State had met all requirements for the construction of the airport. Mr. Emesobin said that the proximity of the airport in Owerri, Port Harcourt, and Enugu does not invalidate the viability of an airport in Abia. I agree in principle on this. And I stand with this. I've been arguing about it. For me, let every state in Nigeria have their own airport. And let them use their competitive advantage to whatever it suits them. It doesn't mean that in all the airport flights will be landing every day. But that's my own argument. So now, and he went further to say that the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN has basic set standard for the construction of the airport, and by all considerations, Abia State has qualified for this. This statement, I remember in 2014, I made a statement saying that this statement is nothing but very idiotic statement because it meant absolute nothing. It means you have not applied for anything, because you can imagine, it says, yes, that they have basic requirement and basic standard, but we met it. Meaning there is no indication, oh, we have applied for A, we have applied for B, we have applied for C. That is number one. So you see clearly, Orji, who is not a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, promised the people of Abia in 2013, November 25th, that by 2015 he was going to finish the airport and the airport before he handed over. Well, again, many of you will not like it, but I liken this to the promise made by the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, when he came to manage in the same, almost in the same, the same time, promising the people of Anambra State that he was going to build the second Niger bridge by 2015. If he didn't do that, he was go on exile. Again, I have called Jonathan to go on exile. Many of you who are Jonathanians, who like him, who love him, say that I'm talking around nonsense. But again, it is time we begin to hold political leaders to account. It is time we begin to get our stones, our kobokos, whatever it is that we can get, because let them stop lying to us and let them, anything you cannot do, you say it. It's just the same way now we have a new governor in Anambra State promising A, B, C, D. I'm like, okay, don't worry. When his time will come, many of you watching me now will say, Mazi, what's changed? Nothing changed, because for me, all I want is what is in the public interest. What is it that you have promised, and what is it that you're going to do for us? That is it. Now, one thing that broke my heart as regards Abia State is the following. That when all these things were, was happening, the state went as far as getting some Chinese, and they came in like my state of Anambra State did. The video is still on YouTube. I called Anambra State Airport a fraud, and I maintain it to tomorrow morning. Reason is, the arrangement the airport was engaged on ab initio of $2 billion was nothing but a fraud. But thank God that at some point the governor himself realized that this was a fraud. So those of you who criticize me by calling that airport at that time a fraud, if you understand context, you understand that you cannot have said that the Chinese people will bring 2 billion, yet there was no one kobo. All we had, there was a drone that should be used for area mapping. The drone was seized by DSS, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, we cannot come in. Are you guys talking to children? But, when you make mistakes, you retract your step. I believe Anambra State, by the time they knew it, they retracted. Obviously, not many of you know how Anambra State sourced that money of how they built the airport. But I know how they got that money. You can see this in the Ocha Bari. I think Sari Dokubo, he always said that they are Ocha Bari people. But when you look at this, it says, Orji receives Chinese partners on Abia Airport and Seaport. Because sometimes I do feel that those in government know, they know the sentiment of the people, what the people want, because what actually any sensible person in Abia State wants, it takes about, from Omaha, condition of the road, it takes about an hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours to go to Oyo, to fly. To Owerri, it takes roughly an hour, because the road is not fantastic. To go to Port Harcourt, Jesus Christ, that one is like 2 hours, 30 minutes. Now, they know all these things, and they go and get these people. Look at these Chinese. Look at them. These are people they brought to us in 2014 in the scam, the last minute scam that they want to build an airport. Look at it. And now let's go and read the news. It says here, Abia State Governor Orji says that the importance of an airport in Abia State cannot be overemphasized. He stated this at the government house, Omaya, when he received a delegation of Norinco Groups, China. I bet you This group is spelled, just write it down, it's spelled NORINCO Group of China. Take your time, Google this group. I bet you 100 naira that this group does not exist. This is exactly what was done in Anambra State before we found our senses and the governor did what a man does and retraced his steps and went ahead and built the airport. Again, the rest is now history. They said that they are investors interested in building an airport and seaport for the state. For Christ's sake, there is no free meal anywhere. These guys must understand that there is nothing free. He says, the governor said that the airport is prepared, that Abia is prepared for the project, admitting that this project is capital intensive. Of course. But he goes on to say the following. Look at this. He disclosed that the state is presently tidying its papers with the federal government and other relevant agencies, adding that the next step will be to embark on land clearing. I don't know if this land was made up of concrete, that since 2014 to 2022, 8 years later, this land, not the former government, not this government, is able to clear it. People, I tell you, you do me wayo the first time, shame on you. You do me the second time, shame on me. This is another 419 coming from Abia State. I cannot pronounce it enough. They have done this to us in 2003, 2013, 2014. Now, exactly the same format. You must listen. The people must be so mugged in their brain to think that if somebody uses the same format to dupe you the first time, you will be a real muggle for the same person to come back and use the same format to dupe you again. In 2013, at the 7th year of Theodore's government, he came with airport. In 2021, 2022, 7 years to in this government, and the talk of nonsense airport comes again. Oh, we want to do this airport before we leave. How, Oga? How? Please, there are gutters, there are, when it rains, our moms and our sisters, our daughters, they swim in debts on the street. Clear them first, Oga. How? This is getting out of hand. Again, and you see, when these people do these things, they lie and they look into our eyes and they lie to us. See it here. It says, look, people read. He maintained that Abia occupies a strategic location in the southeast region, and the need to have our own airport is imperative as high number of resourceful persons and businessmen frequently travel out of the state. He urged investors to use the expertise and wealth of experience to complete the project in record time. Earlier, the Nigerian representative to Noriko, Dr. Cyril Ude, explained that Noriko International Group is involved in development of critical infrastructure in parts of the world and is interested in constructing an airport and seaport in the state. He assured that, adding that the company is finally stable to fund the project. On his part, the Assistant President Noriko Group of Company, Mr. Dong Yingfeng, pointed out that his company has a lot of expertise in diverse fields, including mining, mining, petrochemical industry, and will commence the airport project once the administration gives its nod. So what the Chinese are telling us is that we didn't ask them to. Come on, people. Come on. Cycle of 419. How can we allow people to be scamming us this way? How can we allow people to be scamming us? I fell short of just saying or giving it the title Abia State Airport Scam, because that's what it is. You never believe. But I have the last bit of this before I close the chapter of Abia State. Let us collectively as well look at the last article pertaining also to Abia State Airport. Again, let's go back to. So let's go back again to premium times. Let's go back again to premium times. Come on. You see, they said Abia State Airport to be ready by May 2015. How can how can people be dealing with us in this way? How? Because when they say these things, it has to be. It's just like when you go to Delta State. Delta State Airport was started by Ibori, and that airport was used as a means of money. Not for my mouth to not go here say a person shit for church, but that's what it was. Nothing but a conduit pipe. Conduit pipe of sewage money. I don't know, but it's conduit pipe. And here we have the same thing. The same thing. This is not about Buhari. Yeah. Buhari this, Buhari that. No, in our own backyard. For those of you joining me late, I will play the video now uninterrupted. Hear him from A to Z, what he said, not me.
Because if you want to create a commercial hub, access is key. Access is key. 1, 2.
No, sorry, start afresh, sir. Start afresh. From day one, tell them what your state needs.
We need an airport. Because if you want to create a commercial hub, access is key. Access is key. 1, 2. Without deriding anybody, I've not seen one airport in Nigeria that can speak to what an airport should be in the 21st century. An airport is not a park. It's not a place. It's not a place you run to board a flight and go away. I have enormous respect for the former governor of Lagos State. What he wanted to do around Oshodi scared me as a governor. Scared me. I saw in him somebody who was thinking like me. You capture people in a place.
Oh, dear.
And 5, 6, 7 million people pass through Oshodi every day. That's a resource. So why don't you aggregate them, put AC, make them put AC around the corridors, then display things for them to buy. Because as they move about, if you have your little toddler or your 3-year-old, and somebody is come and buy ice cream, and you see Father Christmas selling ice cream or something, that child, you must buy that ice cream. But you must create the ambience to enable the person take the walk in that place with his child. But if it is rowdy and pickpockets are harassing and people are taking things, my ideal airport is the airport in Dubai.
Anyway, thank God he knows an ideal airport. Mr. Governor, you have 14 months. Is it May 29? So yeah, you have 15 months roughly, or 16 months actually. So do we have an airport from Abia State? Dubai Airport, because you told us your ideal airport. That means something you're going to be replicating.